It seems like every single day there are reports discussing JJ McCarthy's play in Minnesota Vikings organized team activities. And the next report is out, and it shares why JJ McCarthy was inconsistent at best for the Minnesota Vikings in OTA sessions. This take is presented by Hochland Farm. Contact Hochland Farm and get the best 100% grass-fed beef in your freezers today. Contact Jared at 952-491-1541 and get 20% off your first order by mentioning the Minnesota Tim podcast. Again, that's 952-491-1541. You will not regret this opportunity. Contact Jared and get the best rotationally grazed 100% grass-fed beef. Get that in your freezers today. Okay, so the latest report on JJ McCarthy's development is provided by the Athletic Alec Lewis, excuse me. And he wrote this. He says, during OTAs, McCarthy's play was expectedly not always consistent. He was practicing new concept, throwing to new receivers, and using different footwork while defenders move across the line of vision faster than he has ever experienced, though he has not yet faced an NFL defense trying to knock him down. The Vikings have also not yet practiced in pads. Now, in my opinion, this is a report that is protecting JJ McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings. This is the kind of report that you write up because you're trying to protect your own entity. You're trying to protect yourself from the PR team from the Minnesota Vikings. And Alec Lewis is a great writer. I have no issue at all with Alec Lewis. I think he's phenomenal. And I'd love to have him on this podcast at some point in time. But I've been there before. Whether it's through the companies that I've worked for or experiences back in high school or college when you're interviewing for a job, that's kind of how it sounds. You know, it kind of sounds like someone that is a cashier at McDonald's. You know, I've handled transactions for a multi-billion-dollar business. Oh, really? What do you do? Oh, I'm a cashier at McDonald's. I take quarter-pounder orders. Not that there's anything wrong with those orders. Not that there's anything wrong with that job. But you can see that there's a big difference between, okay, I'm actually running a multi-billion-dollar business and taking a transaction at McDonald's. And that's how this kind of report feels. He was practicing new concepts. What rookie quarterback in the NFL isn't? He was throwing to new receivers. Which quarterback in the NFL, whether you've been in the league for 15 years or 5 years or it's your first year, isn't throwing to new receivers? Okay, the different footwork one. Okay, that one can be real here because, you know, coming out of college, changing up his footwork was going to be something that JJ McCarthy needed to work on and something that Kevin O'Connell wanted him to work on. And then the next one, while defenders move across the line of vision faster than he has ever experienced. Okay, another one. Which rookie quarterback isn't going through this progression to the NFL? Which rookie quarterback right now in mandatory OTAs isn't experiencing faster defenders moving across the line of scrimmage? And then the final report goes, though he has not yet faced an NFL defense trying to knock him down, which just shows just how casual OTA sessions have been. Yet he's been so inconsistent. And the Vikings have also not practiced in pads. So JJ McCarthy has been inconsistent, and practices have been only going about 50% full torque, maybe not even, maybe like 35%. They haven't practiced in pads. They haven't been trying to knock him down. There's been no legit pass rush, and he's struggling to hit open wide receivers. Now, I'm not going to say this is doomsday. It's the end of JJ McCarthy. He's 21 years old. He's a raw quarterback out of Michigan where he wasn't asked to do much, and it's going to take time. And for the Minnesota Vikings, they have time. They have Sam Darnold as quarterback one. They don't need to start JJ McCarthy day one because they have a good system around Sam Darnold right now. It's not like the Minnesota Vikings are waiting and calling JJ McCarthy the savior of the franchise as soon as he steps in, which credit to the Minnesota Vikings for doing so. They deserve a lot of credit for creating a team and an organization that isn't going to be solely dependent on a rookie quarterback stepping in and being the savior of the franchise as soon as he steps in the door, like the Houston Texans were with C.J. Stroud. Now, C.J. Stroud could handle that pressure. He could handle that expectation, but that is not an ideal situation for any rookie quarterback entering the NFL. Look up Johnny Manziel. Sam Darnold had that experience. The Jets and the Panthers were hoping, well, specifically the Jets, were hoping that Sam Darnold would come in and be the savior of the franchise day one, and he wasn't ready for that. The Panthers were hoping that when Sam Darnold stepped in, that they could revitalize and create something that the Jets couldn't do it. And he wasn't quite ready for that moment because, well, one, the organization sucked. So there are rookie quarterbacks that can handle this pressure and organization that aren't as raw as JJ McCarthy stepping onto the field. But JJ McCarthy is raw. But the Minnesota Vikings have the infrastructure in place, and they're ready to get JJ McCarthy prepared to start when he is ready. Whether that's after year one, in year two, or maybe later on in his NFL career if Sam Darnold has a good, solid season for the Minnesota Vikings and warrants an extension. So lots of interesting notes following mandatory OTAs, rookie camp, all of these things. And the reports have been interesting regarding JJ McCarthy because there's a lot of protection going on here. Not just by Alec Lewis, but by other people too. And they don't want to say it for what it is. He is raw. And everything that JJ McCarthy is experiencing, all the new things, are things that rookie quarterbacks, every single one of them, face. And sometimes veteran quarterbacks, like throwing to new receivers. Anyways, that's just my takeaway on this new report on JJ McCarthy's inconsistency. Thank you for listening and watching. If you're watching, please hit that subscribe button right there. If you're listening, please rate and review the show on Apple or Spotify. Everyone, thank you for making this podcast a part of your day.